That's exactly right.
Do you know how much? Honestly, I love working with Nigel McGuinness.
He's great.
He makes me laugh so much. And we had that. You need to go back and listen to Saturday's telecast, the match with Rob Van Dam,
Okay.
and listen to
On
all the
420, bravo to all involved.
yes, all the things that he said, how he said them. He worked in joint, he worked in THC. God, he worked in a lot of stuff. It was just masterful, and I just enjoy working with him. And when I work with him, I've got to do a lot of. They're gonna are they gonna take the head off the?
No, he's the mystery partner, and now this mystery partner gets to be a part of his hardcore title match at pay-per-view at Slamboree this weekend.
Holy shit! I was handsome back then. Look at that.
Now, are you on the right?
Yeah, I'm on the right, you fucker.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Hey, what's Scott Hudson up to these days? I saw he went in the Georgia Wrestling Hall of Fame the other day.
I don't know what he's up to.
Well, you don't keep in touch with Scott?
No.
Oh, I thought you were a good friend. Oh, that's right.
You know how it is when you know how it is with me and my good friends.
Yeah. You never hear from him.
Yeah.
Leave him alone. Tell him to fuck off.
I don't tell him to fuck off. I just leave him alone. But I was going to get to the point that I really enjoy. I love doing Collision because I love working with Nigel.
Right.
But man, you can't beat working on Dynamite because I ain't got to do shit. I know the Excalibur does all the heavy lifting. He does all the pitches. He does all the B-rolls. He does all the rundowns of the card. And I just have to just argue with Taz. I mean, it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. So.
Oh, I just thought about that. I can't imagine the stress and pressure you guys have been under the last 2 weeks with Taz. I mean, knowing that his son no longer the FTW champion.
Yeah.
Boy, that had to stress Taz out more than it did Hook.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is. But you know, for those of us who know him and love him, Taz is a gift that keeps on giving backstage.
He's the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
No question.
You never
honestly, I don't think Taz would want it, but Taz and RJ City, is that a sitcom waiting to happen or what?
Oh, good God. Good God.
We got to make that happen.
There's Kurt Russell on our show. We wouldn't have gotten that without giving the title to Dave Arquette.
See, ancillary benefits right here.
See, he just laughed and walked away.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Kurt Hennig looks really different.
Right?
Oh, wait, hold on.
I mean, they're just leaning all the way into it. Absolutely perfect. By the way, the gate here in Birmingham, $77,000.
Good God.
This company's just hemorrhaging cash, man.
Wow, that didn't pay for Hulk Hogan's appearance that night.
No shit.
Yeah. Wow. And you know, if I'm Turner and we're hemorrhaging money, what the fuck? I don't want to deal with it.
Well, I mean, the legal situation wasn't all that great either, right, Tony? I mean, few lawsuits filed here and there, and some claims of racial discrimination, et cetera. And I mean, it just, when it became that big a headache, it really, I don't know if they would have, I mean, ultimately, of course, you care about the money, but I just think the headaches that were being caused by so many things going on backstage and embarrassing moments and things like that, and the legal aspects of it. I mean, that people don't understand how much that plays a role in it. You can deal with a bad product. You can deal with financial losses because there were ancillary benefits to it, but it was really more of the headaches. And when you have people, as you know, in high places who weren't wrestling fans, who didn't want to make a commitment to this product, you understand why it sold for a paltry $3.5 million back in March of 2001 and sending Tony Schiavone on a different career path.
Well, you know what? You make all good points, but these people in high places did not have the foresight to realize how much money you can make on videos.
Correct.
And they to me that shows a lack of, I don't know, intelligence, or you're in the wrong place. And it blows me away that, I mean, Vince made $3.5 million back the first day he started streaming shit, right?
Yeah. I mean, well, the feeling was wrestling fans are unintelligent.
Yeah.
Wrestling fans are poors.
Mm-hmm.
And you see an opening match like you just did with Norman Smiley and Crowbar.
Mm-hmm.
And and Conrad brought it up. How do you even begin to contextualize this to somebody who doesn't understand pro wrestling?
Right.
Yes.
And you understand, at that point, it was really more of an albatross for this company than anything else. It was bleeding money, like you said, but all the headaches behind the scenes we just wanted to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And that was it, and move on to other types of programming, and not understanding that there was a value into what is going on here. And again, the current product, it was very hard to turn it around. It's very hard to wash that stink off, so to speak, of what was going on with WCW. And I'm not saying that it could have ever even gotten corrected, because we had so many people come in and try after that 83-week era, if you will. I just don't know if it was fixable at that point, at the level, especially not getting it back at the level it was. But to, just do what they did with it and to toss it, away to the wind, so to speak, I mean, really wasn't the best decision, I think. Especially, they could have made more money off it, and it might have even changed the course of professional wrestling a little bit had WWE not been able to get a virtual monopoly in 2001. But think about it like this too. Because of the demise of WCW, what ended up happening? TNA with Jeff Jarrett and Ring of Honor. Mm-hmm. And there is something positive to come of that, because you look at how much those products continue to impact, no pun intended, what's going on in AEW today, for example.
And now here's our wrestling savior. He's in the ring. His name is Vince Russo. Of course, we're representing the New Blood along with Eric Bischoff. We got Jeff Jarrett and Kimberly. And man, think about how far ahead of his time. We don't talk about him enough. Canyon. Alex, did you get to spend any time with Canyon? Any good Canyon memories you can share with us?
Who better than Canyon? And, it's interesting because I get to work with Brian Cage, and there's no bigger Canyon fan than him. And I wrote a wrestling column back in the day about Canyon's, life. It was written by a Northern Kentucky University professor. And interestingly enough, one of my close friends, Jer, is, Jeremiah Evans, and a big, huge wrestling fan. And he's come out as gay. And he, interestingly, Canyon, he could relate to sort of what was going on there, trying to keep things, under wraps, so to speak. His family didn't know, others didn't know. And Canyon, unfortunately for him, because he was worried about, the impact potentially of people finding out that he was homosexual, led to a lot of the depression issues that he ended up facing. And one of the things I have to say, and I'm not sure about WWE and how they handle mental health, I can say this about AEW. There are counselors not only in attendance at our shows and meet with our talent to try to help them deal with issues that go far beyond wrestling, but also very active. They send out notices every week. Hey, Dr. Reese will be in attendance. We have a female psychologist who deals with sexual trauma. She's available for people. If you have a problem and you need someone to talk to, we have those people there. And it always makes me wonder, what if Canyon would have had those resources to be able to speak about his own issues in his life and maybe be able to work through them? I think not only would he still be with us, I think he'd still be a very vibrant, active part of the wrestling scene. Maybe not as a talent, if you will, although I don't want to discount that, but someone who was so creative and someone who had so many good ideas. He definitely could have carved his own niche in pro wrestling, and unfortunately taken from us far too soon.
We definitely have the right resources now backstage, and kudos to Tony Khan and our leadership for putting those in place. Really.
And it's not cheap.
It's not cheap. No, it's not cheap.
People don't understand how much the Tony spends extra that he doesn't have to. It's remarkable. I mean, hotels, transportation to events, food. I mean, things like this that he provides, let alone a service.
Taz's contract.
Yeah. I mean, it's just stuff. He doesn't have to do that. He doesn't, but he does because he cares. That's the whole thing about it. And what's amazing too, and this isn't suck up to the boss week, but I've known Tony for so much before AEW, but he just loves pro wrestling also. I mean, that's it. And it is interesting because we do give a tip of the cap to the WCW product, hopefully the better parts of it. We give a tip of the cap to Jim Crockett Promotions, the things that took place, WWF, Attitude Era, all of those things. But they all come from the heart because he watched them, and they help shape the type of wrestling fan that he is. You may not always like what you see on TV, but please understand that the man's heart is in the right place. And I think that that's the one thing that you can never say anything bad about him in that regard, because he does really care about what goes on with his employees. And of course, he cares about what goes on with his product.